Hey, it's Sarah, and I'm coming to you because I have gained 40 pounds. And I didn't think I'd be making this video. I thought I would start with my weight loss journey and do it all in the background and pretend like nothing had happened, that I hadn't gained the weight. And then I thought, that's silly. Why don't I film this whole process and talk to you about why I gained weight in the first place, and maybe I'll be able to inspire you or help you if you're on a similar journey. So I'm here today because I switched from eating a raw food diet for a long time, about 7 years, to eating cooked foods when I moved to Scandinavia. I already did a whole video where I talked about why I switched to eating cooked foods. But what I didn't really talk about is that from the time that I filmed that video, and even before I filmed it, until now, it has been a struggle to find out what foods work for me. So obviously what I was doing wasn't working, because that's why I'm making this video, and that's why I gained a ton of weight. And I've been on a journey to find out why I've gained this weight in the first place, and most importantly, what I can do about it and how I can find some sort of balance while eating cooked foods. So let's rewind to 8 months ago when I started including cooked food in my diet. When I started eating more cooked foods, I had the idea to just eat intuitively, because that's what I had been doing for quite a long time while I was eating raw. But I kind of forgot that along my raw food journey, I spent years perfecting my diet. I experimented with different macronutrient ratios, different levels of calories, and different foods to find out what worked exactly for my body. And I think I just hoped that if I started eating cooked food again, then I would just magically find the same balance, which obviously didn't happen, and that's why I'm here making this video. What I really forgot when I started eating cooked foods was to do that same kind of experimentation that I had been doing for years on a raw food diet. So I went full force into eating cooked. Of course, I was still eating a lot of raw foods, and I still do, but I wasn't tracking calories, I wasn't tracking macros, I wasn't looking at any kind of stats for what I was eating. I just thought I was eating a normal amount of food. But a normal amount of food for me was really skewed because I had eaten raw for so long. And if you have ever tried eating raw, the truth is you have to eat a lot of food. So your stomach just naturally expands over time to hold the quantity of food that you need to feel satisfied. That is dangerous when switching to eating cooked foods or a cooked food diet. And I have seen so many people revert back to eating cooked foods over the years who just said, oh, it's easy, you just start eating cooked again and you'll be fine. Which I always wondered, really? Would you be fine? Because I feel like the diets when you eat cooked food versus when you eat all raw are so vastly different. And I was right. I knew as soon as I started having these issues with gaining weight and feeling bloated and fatigued that obviously it wasn't as simple as people made it out to be. So that's why I wanted to create this video. That's why I wanted to create this series, to show the honest side of what it's like to switch from eating raw foods to including cooked food in your diet. So the most important thing that I realized along this journey, I only realized it about a month ago actually, is that I was eating the same quantity of food in its cooked version as I was when I was eating raw foods. Now the only problem with this is that if you have 10 bananas, they make up a certain amount of volume. It's quite a bit of volume. You can have a 2-liter smoothie that ends up being, 500 calories, versus if you have the same volume in pasta or some sort of vegan gourmet dish, it is so much more calorie dense. So even though I was eating the same volume of food that I was used to eating on a raw food diet, I was eating so many more calories. And for a while, I just kept gaining and gaining and gaining weight, and I was so frustrated. And I went through this period where I was just constantly bloated. I basically looked like I was 8 months pregnant because my stomach just was bloated all the time. I had all this water weight, and I felt so uncomfortable and fatigued. And one day, I don't know how it was brought up, but my partner said something like, hey, why don't you try tracking your food again like you used to? Like, just put your food into Chronometer, see if something isn't working for you. So I thought, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think about this before? I think the reason I hadn't thought about it is because I really just wanted to eat intuitively, because I had gotten into this habit of eating intuitively and not tracking anything. And it had been working so well for me on raw. And I had a lot of resistance to tracking calories or macros or anything like that, because in the past, it would have put me in a really unhealthy headspace, because I do have a history of disordered eating patterns, and I didn't want to fall into that again. So I think I was afraid of going there, but ultimately his suggestion to track calories that one day, or just to put my food in and see what wasn't working, was the thing that changed everything for me. So I put my food into Chronometer, and I was absolutely shocked that I was eating almost 5,000 calories a day. I mean, I knew I was eating slightly more than when I was eating raw, but I did not know that it was literally double or more than double what my food intake normally was. And it was all because of this volume versus calories thing that I'm talking about. So that leads me to where I am now. I have just started a journey to losing weight, and I want to document this whole process and show what it's really like when you're losing weight in a healthy, balanced way, one that doesn't include a ton of calorie restriction or very obsessive exercising, both of which are things I did in the past when I had a lot of weight to lose. I am at my heaviest that I have ever been. I started this journey at 175 pounds. That's how much weight gain it took for me to reach my breaking point, to realize, whoa, whatever I'm doing right now, it is not working for me and I need to change something. So it was about 2 weeks ago that I found out how much I was eating, and I was shocked. And the next day I thought, okay, what I'll do instead of eating this obscene amount of calories that's obviously way too much for my body is I'll go back down to the amount that I'm used to eating, which is somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories, which wasn't the best approach, but I really wanted to see how my body would feel. I did that. And I felt headachy and tired and super irritable. And I felt like I did back in my dieting days when I would eat like 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories. I just felt horrible. And I knew that going from such a large amount of calories to then such a low amount, like literally cutting my intake in half, wasn't gonna be something that I could do right off the bat. So instead, I started a gradual approach to slowly decreasing my calories every day so that my body wouldn't be put into shock, so I wouldn't have those feelings of irritability and constant hunger. And slowly over the last couple of weeks, and I say a couple of weeks, it honestly feels like so much longer because this is the first time I have been excited about food and my lifestyle in a long time, because I just felt so hopeless when I was constantly gaining weight. And there's nothing wrong with gaining or losing weight, but I just did not feel good in my body. And being 175 pounds doesn't work for me. If it works for someone else, that's absolutely fantastic. But I know, having yo-yoed over the years, having lived lots of different lifestyles, that I feel my best when I'm about 130 pounds. And it's not because I'm set on that number. I don't really care if I get to that number again, but it's more how I felt at that time with my fitness level, with my food intake, with my energy levels. And that's what I really want to get back to right now. So the biggest change I've made over the past couple of weeks is that I learned about calorie density, and I realized that if I want to eat cooked foods and enjoy them in my diet, then I need to eat something that gives me a lot of volume, that's going to make me feel very full and satisfied. Because I know the one thing that I'm not willing to go back to ever is some sort of restriction that makes me feel hungry all the time. Ironically enough, when I first started this, a couple weeks ago when I hit my peak at 175 pounds, I was constantly hungry. I had this rumbling in my stomach that would just never go away, even though I was eating way too much, even though I was eating 5,000 calories. And as I have slowly decreased my calories over the past couple of weeks, where I'm now eating 2,000 approximately, I don't have that constant hunger anymore. I feel much more satiated. I feel happier. I feel energetic. I feel all the things I've been wanting to feel for the last 8 or so months that when I started including cooked food in my diet. And when I say calorie density, I simply mean that when I'm having my food now, maybe I was having this huge portion of pasta, this huge bowl of pasta before. Instead, I'm now having that huge bowl of food, but it's veggies or something like that. So it's the same amount of volume, it's significantly lower in calories. So I still feel very full and satisfied, but without eating in excess or double the amount that I should be eating. I've also been on this fitness journey where you'll have seen my previous video I uploaded. I have been working out every single day for 90 days. So my activity level is very high because I'm training for a few things. One, I want to do a through hike eventually, which takes a lot of physical stamina. And two, I just want to be in the best shape I've ever been in. I really love getting stronger, so I've been focusing a lot on weightlifting and overall fitness for my health, not to reach a certain aesthetic look. And this is the first time in my life that I have ever used fitness in this way. A lot of times in the past, I would use fitness as a punishment. Like if I had eaten too many calories, I would work out to punish myself. But I'm long past that now, thankfully, and I'm in a really good place fitness-wise. And I'm really excited that now my food choices and my diet aligns perfectly with my new fit lifestyle. So even though I just reached my breaking point a couple of weeks ago, I have been feeling so much better since then. Right now, I'm in a deficit of about 500 to 700 calories a day, but making sure that I eat enough that I feel full and satisfied and happy. And that's a really good place for me right now, and I'm losing about 1 pound per week. So it should take maybe between 6 to 8 months to get back down to a level where I am healthy. And I want to clarify that there's nothing wrong with being 175 pounds or a size 12 like I am right now. It's just not a place where I feel at my healthiest, and that's my ultimate goal, is to be healthy. I'm personally not a believer that you can be in an overweight category and be at your healthiest. I know that's going to be a controversial topic, and I have been told by people in the past that you cannot love your body and also want to lose weight at the same time, which I think is totally inaccurate. Personally, I'm doing this because I love my body, because I want to be healthy, and I don't want to put my body at risk by being in this overweight category or by continuing to gain weight and become obese. So that's my point of view. It may not be the most popular, but I really want to be raw and honest when it comes to these videos and just share everything that I'm going through, everything that I'm experiencing, everything that I'm eating, and just hopefully, show what a healthy weight loss journey looks like, because I think there are a lot of unrealistic expectations out there, before and after programs and photos that show, like lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks and things that are just very inaccurate and aren't representing what the majority of people are going to go through. This is a healthy weight loss of 1 pound a week, or that's kind of what I'm aiming for here, depending on my activity level. This isn't going to be any kind of extreme dieting or anything like that, and this is just going to be my personal journey. So I'm going to leave it at this for now. I'm going to be filming regular updates all the time on this journey, and I don't know how often these videos are going to come out, but I will have lots of footage of what I'm eating and my progress and everything that I'm doing to lose this 40 pounds. And yeah, I hope you're excited to join for the journey, and let me know what you think of this in the comments below. I know it's going to be a polarizing topic because I have been someone who practices body neutrality. I don't really love my body and I don't really hate it. I'm just kind of in the middle, which is a place that I'm happy with being. But I know there's going to be someone saying out there that it is totally healthy to be in an overweight category, and you know what? I am always open to discussion, so I just want to say that. If you don't agree with me, totally cool. Just let me know in the comments below. So thanks so much for watching, and if you want to continue to watch my journey to losing 40 pounds, you can subscribe to my channel, and if you do, don't forget to hit that bell notification, because you will only be notified if I upload a video if you hit that little notification bell. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next update.